So, a couple of months ago, I was having a scan through Trade Me, as one does, you know, in the evenings when they're a little bit bored, and I came across a trailer. I've been keeping an eye on trailers for a long time on Trade Me, and I've never wanted to spend much, as, you know, I've always just kind of wanted to give it a go and see, do I actually like it, and is it worth it? This one popped up for 1,500 bucks, and it was local to me, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go have a look. Texted the person the next day, and after about a 20-minute look, I was driving home with it. So yeah, welcome to my super crap, really cheap trailer. It's gonna make one thing real clear. This is not an off-road trailer. This is a like base camp, get to camp and go from there sort of trailer. But we used it on a trip about a month ago and it's brilliant. So I thought I'd let you guys have a bit of a look and maybe help me decide what am I gonna do with it. Let's have a nosy. Alrighty, so this is it. It's a 2002, although I've got a suspicion it's a little bit older and been re-registered at some point. Home built trailer. I've got no idea what it was built for or who built it or anything like that. It seems to be really, really well made, and like the chassis is just far stronger than I'd expect to be for kind of like a box trailer like this. And yeah, so it's kind of just a super basic, you know, sort of leaf sprung trailer with a nice long and super thick drawbar. That thing is insanely, I guess, over-engineered for what it is for. And it came with all these shells and stuff inside. Like, I was just kind of super impressed. I rocked up and I was like, really, 1,500 bucks? I don't know, like, and I had a good nosy around, and yeah, it just kind of worked out really, really well. So when I picked it up, it was a horrible gray color. So I basically set out a budget. Like, the trailer was 1,500 and I didn't want to really spend more than about $2,000 in total. Like, this is meant to be a super budget build, I was going to say, but like a super budget fit out. So I bought 2 cans of paint. Like, it's just rubbish enamel and it's chipping off already. Kind of expected it to. I did no prep work. I just wanted it to look slightly better. So yeah, I've done a terrible paint job, but it kind of sort of matches the car. And yeah, apart from the paint job, I bought it 2 new wheels and tyres, as the ones that are on it were from 2003, and I thought, nah, I'm not super happy with the idea of driving, you know, thousands of Ks with tyres that are that old. And I bought a solar panel, as I realised, like, this is a base camp trailer, and when parked up for, you know, a couple of days, the car's driving and the trailer's not. So yeah, it's worked brilliantly, and like the rest of the stuff in there is left over from the Hilux. So it's costed me a little bit of wire, tyres, wheels, which were really cheap. Like, they're rubbish, but they're really cheap. Solar panel and a bit of paint, so, and obviously quite a bit of time. So I don't know, like, it's worked really, really well, and I'm kind of pleased with, you know, for the sake of $2,000 or whatever it is, how useful it's turned out to be. Like, we took it away, did a couple of thousand Ks around the North Island with it, and it just kind of followed us. We left it at camp, went off and did the activities in the day, and yeah. Currently it's running my massive 115 amp hour battery, and that's just charged up by the solar panel, which seems to keep up fairly well with the light usage that we put on it. It's got a tap for water. This thing's terrible. Like, the one that I've got in the back of the car is far better, and probably what I'm gonna swap to if we like decide to kind of stick with this. Fridge went in there. It's got some Anderson plugs. I've got like USB ports and all that sort of stuff to charge it up. Like, it's super simple, and we just loaded it with stuff. So like, this side was all our cooking things, fridge, and then if we zip around the other side, we had 2 tubs of food, obviously water, our tins and stuff went in here, and it just basically meant that the car could just kind of have, I guess, the stuff that we're going to need at camp. We'd take it out, everything else stay in the trailer, and it works super well. So there's going to be a bunch of you watching going, wait a minute, why did you buy a trailer when you bought the Fortuner? Like, the Fortuner was meant to make traveling, you know, with a family easier, and it does. Like, absolutely, having the boot gives us a heap more space, and just the layout of this works far better for us. But we realized that on a long trip, which we were planning on doing, you do need to take a lot more gear with you, and so this road is just terrible. You can see why it's still partially not open. Yeah, so like, you know, there's a lot of gear you gotta take with you and stuff, and especially if we're using our ground tent with little dude, like, you know, by the time you get that in the fridge and the boot, that's basically it. You know, I need to get a cargo barrier thing or something like that just to make it so we can actually stack stuff up. So I thought a trailer, like, it was so cheap, it needed very little work done to it to get it to the point where we could use it. And I was like, you know what, like, this solves a short-term problem. Whether or not we keep using it over the long term or just sell it, I honestly don't know. But for now, let's give it a go. And I guess one other like thing that kind of was why we bought this is I hated towing with the Hilux. Don't know what it was about it. I never liked the way that it towed. This thing tows like my 80 series did. It's really, really good, and I don't know, it's got more than enough power to, you know, get up the hills and things like that without struggling, and yeah, it just tows nicely. So it kind of ticks the boxes there as well if we do decide to, you know, find some sort of camper trailer or something like that. So I'm not really sure what the plan with this is. Like, as it sits right now, it does the job beautifully. It can just tow behind the car, and you know, we can take it to, I guess, campsites that are not hard to get to, leave it behind, go off and do stuff, come back and pick it up. It's obviously not an off-road trailer though, so that does limit, I guess, the places it can go. And I'm still hesitant about whether or not I really want to tow off-road. Like, there are times when you're going to turn around and it's hard enough with just the car. But having a base camp, you know, has always appealed to me. And you know, if I could get like the rooftop tent or something up on here, leave the car as like a car and able to just, I guess, you know, not have to carry around a heap of weight and not be too tall and stuff would be awesome. You know, but in saying that, like, I'm unlikely to take the trailer when it's just me going around a trip. Like, it is going to be purely for families. And yeah, like, it's pretty worn out. I won't deny that. All these bolts and stuff are kind of loose. Everything's kind of a bit warped, and like, again, I don't know how old it actually is. It claims it's 2002, but I wonder if it's just been re-registered for yearly WOFs. Like, it's absolutely fine, but I can guarantee that you'd get on some long, rough, like, gravel roads and stuff, and the sad pieces about it are probably not going to last super well. Part of me is tempted to basically take the body off, get rid of the plywood floor, put an alloy floor down, weld up like a steel frame, and then like skin it in alloy plate or something to try and decrease the weight just a little bit, and give it, I guess, a bit more strength. So if I do want to put the tent on top, I can. I want to make some changes to the drawbar. Like, it's, again, I don't know what this trailer was built for, but it's way too chunky for what I need, and it's kind of just made it so I've had to flip my tow ball upside down to try and get it to sit a little bit more level. Like, when we took it away, there was way too much ball weight and it didn't tow super well. This is the first time I've towed it since I've done that job, and it seems to be much better. And like, I'd love to do a 6-stud conversion and I guess match the wheels and tires with both. Like, annoyingly, the trailer's marginally wider track than the car. So I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this, and curious of your guys' thoughts. Like, I can either just keep it as it is and I guess patch it up as it kind of wears out and stuff, and use it for family trips, and I guess, you know, maybe it'll show up on the occasional Overland NZ video. I could sell it, and now that I've proven that I kind of want a trailer, I could get like a proper camper trailer, you know, like a fold out thing and stuff, and that means that basically when we go away as a family, we're not sleeping in a ground tent because I hate it, and we'll make those like longer trips just that little bit more comfortable. Or the third option, which I'm kind of tempted by, is basically I'm trying to learn how to weld at the moment, which it's going terribly, let's be honest. But maybe leave it as it is for now, and once I've become a little bit more competent there, perhaps I could like pull all this steel body and stuff off and replace the wooden floor with an alloy floor, and basically put a frame in here and skin it with something a little bit lighter. Like, I have no idea how much this trailer weighs. It tows fine behind the car. Like, the car can tow 3 ton. That's not a problem. It's just that this is super heavy. It should probably have some brakes, which it doesn't. Do you guys want a trailer project? I am torn out whether I want to take on more work or not, but at the same time, like, over winter, it could be an interesting thing just to chip away at and I guess get it ready for next summer. Part of me is tempted just to kind of leave it as it is, try and get it a little bit more waterproof, like it is, leaks like a sieve, and just send it and see what happens. But I don't want to be that guy who breaks down in the middle of nowhere with a trailer, you know, or, you know, loses it or something like that. Like, that's just not cool. So yeah, I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Like, I'm super keen to hear your thoughts. I honestly don't know what to do with it. There's part of me that wants to go out and buy like a, you know, like a pop top off-road caravan thing. There's part of me that wants like a Ford Fold camper trailer, or, you know, something like a Patriot campers styled thing. So I think those are cool. Oh, that, or I just kind of tart this up and maybe give it a proper paint job, because like, it's pretty terrible, and go from there. Not sure. Let me know your thoughts. Anyway, very short, very random video today. Just thought I'd introduce the trailer. Catch you later.